I was like, this is gonna be it. Like, I think we can make it happen on this spot.
Right.
For a variety of reasons that I felt pretty bummed when it didn't. And it was
Sure.
We came out to the truck and we're like, what do we do? And
Right.
what we did was decisive action.
Yeah, we talked about it beforehand on the ride out here, was to not get like tunnel visioned and married to something, but like just move if it's not right. We got saddles, we got sticks, we're really mobile, we're in good shape, we can go up and down a hill if we need to.
Yeah.
Or we can move conservation areas.
And you killed your buck on the third tree that you hunted that day.
The third tree, yeah.
And
I had put a ground stalk on something.
Right.
So I was trying everything.
So I need to be better at making a decision.
Yeah, executing a bad plan is better than having no plan and doing nothing.
Right.
Oh, that's weird. I'm like, maybe is Lou playing a prank on me? Was my first thought. I was like, this is not a game that I would like to be playing in the dark when there's no moon out and I'm in the middle of the woods. Like, don't try to scare me.
I guess, spoiler, we got it done twice. We doubled up. This is Outdoor Lore. Come outside with us as Andrew, Luke, and our family and friends go outside and create memories, stories, and traditions that will be passed down for generations. Welcome to Outdoor Lore.
Welcome to Outdoor Lore.
Outdoor Lore.
All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Lore Podcast. It is our post-Missouri wrap-up podcast, and we're driving again, so sorry if the audio is not perfect. We don't have our studio yet,
Yeah.
so we're going through West Virginia on the way home.
Wild and wonderful.
Wild and wonderful, the Show Me State.
The Show Me State, West Virginia. Yeah.
We got 5 hours left of a 15-hour drive.
Yep.
And
Little pit stop in what, Illinois last night?
Indiana.
Indiana, okay.
Corydon, Indiana. We slept in a Walmart parking lot.
Yep. Way sketchier than sleeping in national forests.
Oh yeah.
Not even close.
The drive home has been way harder than the drive out. I think we're just worn.
I mean, I haven't been paying attention at all. I just started driving.
For you, the YouTube grills have been the same.
It's been delightful. I've just been chilling. But yeah, all good. We didn't straight shot it. Missouri was really fun. Thoughts on Missouri? What do you think about hunting Missouri? Never been out there before.
Yeah, let's just jump right into it.
Yeah.
Missouri, well, we intended and we hoped for some private land, and that didn't work out.
No
We sent
dice.
a bunch of letters for property owners trying to get
I'm gonna eat.
a private land permission while we were out there.
Yep.
That didn't happen, but what did happen is we had a buddy out there, Brett, and he scouted public for us a bunch.
Whole bunch.
Hooked us up with a bunch of good areas, good spots, good things to be looking for.
Which we utilized beforehand and gave us hope and like where to sort of start. But I don't think I really used much of his scouting once we were into hunting. Like it was kind of just by feel and by maps and what we were seeing on the ground. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I would say we definitely did not kill any deer based off of his scouting, but
No.
it gave me particularly the confidence to know, like, yeah, you're going into the possibility of success. You're not
Right.
going in blind to
Yeah.
the possibility.
Right.
So it gave me a lot more confidence going into it. Missouri public land is plentiful.
It's crazy, and it's well managed. Like it's clean.
It's extraordinarily well managed.
And a lot of the places we were at, pressure wasn't too crazy either. Like there was definitely hunters out there,
Yep.
but it was only a select couple of spots where we saw any other people.
I think the lack of pressure is as a function of the plentifulness of the opportunity.
I fully agree.
Right? So in Virginia, we talked about it on the way out, there's only a couple public land spots that we have opportunities to go hunt,
Yep.
and those are pretty heavily pressured. Like you're gonna see trucks in the parking lot, there's gonna be guys out there, and we experienced some of that, but not all of that.
Right.
Where we were. So
Yeah.
I guess, spoiler, we got it done twice. We doubled up. We talked on the way out what our percentages were. What did we think our
I
percentages
think
were?
you said 50-50 for either of us to get one, so 25% that we doubled.
Yeah.
Which, after the first day of scouting, and then even more so after the first day of hunting, I was like, okay, I think we're probably gonna get this done.
Yeah,
Personally.
I thought after the first day of scouting and after your first day of hunting, which we'll get into, that the chances of one of us doing it was really high.
Yeah.
I'm just over the moon, pumped up that we both got it done.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. Even going into day 4,
Yeah.
or was it day 5? Day 5 when
Day
I
5.
killed mine. Like, I was not expecting. I was hoping, I was optimistic, but I was not expecting that I was going to get it done in those last 2 days.
I thought you were gonna get it done. I wasn't fully confident it was gonna happen at that spot.
I'll take it back. I was pretty confident I was going to kill a deer. I was
Sure.
not very confident that I was going to kill a good deer.
Right.
I felt confident that I was going to be able to go out there and just shoot a
spike.
porky or something
Yeah.
on the last day.
Yeah.
If I needed to. But yeah. I think it worked out really, really well. Actually, it couldn't have worked out better for us, like transporting meat,
Yeah,
meat
it was
retention.
perfect. The timing of everything. I mean, I'm glad that we didn't get there and hunt Friday, so that we had a day of just like out in the woods scouting. We
Right.
hit 3 or 4 different conservation areas where we were just putting miles down. I mean, I don't know how far we hiked, but we scouted for
I was
8
running
hours
a
straight.
tracker. It was like 8 miles.
Yeah.
Which is
And-
not crazy, but
No, but
we were pretty intentional about
We
it.
covered a lot of ground and we split up nicely.
Yeah, we covered probably 16 miles combined.
Right, so not
Um,
insane, but a good sort of get our feet wet of what we're looking for and what we're looking at
Yeah.
in that area or
And
those areas.
I'd say we heavily scouted 2 areas.
Yep,
And one of those scouting days resulted in you having an awesome first day.
really cool first day.
And then we very lightly scouted a 3rd area, just like
Yeah.
an in and out,
Right.
and said like we'll come back to this if we need to.
Yep,
And we didn't end up coming back.
we sure did.
I think good and bad public land interactions. I think we had some of both of those.
I don't think I had personally any, like it wasn't explicitly bad. Like the guy wasn't rude or
No,
anything like that.
you
but
had
it was,
more clueless.
it was completely clueless. I've never seen someone more oblivious in the woods. So this must have been day 3 of hunting, where we had hunted one spot in the morning and then we moved conservation areas and we were sitting for the evening. I was up at the top of this ridge, probably 500-600 yards north and uphill from Luke, probably 50 yards, really close to private land. And it's like 3 in the afternoon. I don't know who would be walking in at 3 in the afternoon, but he was walking in at 3 in the afternoon. No judgment
He's coming
there.
in for an evening sit.
Yeah, for sure. And I hear this guy out in the distance crunching. I see him probably 150 yards before he gets to my tree. He's walking and he's walking and he's walking. I whistle to him at 50 yards. He stops, pulls up his binoculars, looks, doesn't see me. He continues walking straight at me for another 30 yards. I whistle again when he's at 20 yards. He stops, pulls up his binoculars, doesn't see me. Then he continues to walk, gets legitimately 10 yards from my tree, and looks up, and I go, hello? And he's like, oh. And then he's like, this is conservation area already? I gotta stand over there. I'm like, yeah, this is a conservation area. He's like, okay. And then he turns around, walks away, and then I hear him get on a 4-wheeler and drive away. I've never seen anyone more. I wasn't like hidden. I was wearing blaze orange. I had my blaze orange hat, my blaze orange vest. I was maybe 25 feet up, but he just had no idea I was there until literally 10 yards from the tree. Like, what are we doing, guy?
And
So that was really my only interaction. Then the one guy in the morning who was chill.
And to be like in that spot that you were, I don't think there's any conversation about the fact that that was the area that had the biggest buck sign,
Yes.
like within 100 yards in every direction of you,
Oh,
was sign that would make anybody go, I am hunting here.
I had like 6-inch diameter trees shredded
Absolutely shredded.
in every direction around me,
And-
scrapes the size of the truck hood.
Two weeks after, there should be big scrapes.
Just nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts. And so, like, I was hoping that I was going to have something come from the direction that he came from.
Right, off the private.
And no, at that point, I knew my
So-
evening was cooked.
We'll pencil that in as clueless.
Yeah.
I'll talk about bad, and then
Yeah,
we can talk
sure.
about good.
Sure.
I was hunting day 3.
And again,
Day
public
4.
land hunting's all new to us, so this is just like first impressions
Yeah.
of what hunters are like
And what people,
out in the woods.
what people get through.
Yeah.
I was hunting, I'm way back, mile and a quarter, mile and a half from the closest parking area. And to be fair, I'm not far off of a road path.
Yeah.
But I'm off the path a little ways. And at 4:36, well, no, first, I'm sitting there at 9:30. A guy comes through with all dressed in orange, which is smart based on what he's doing. And he's walking down a path that's 100 yards from me, grunting every 6 steps.
Oh, that's a strategy.
He's got a grunt tube. He'll walk 6, 7 steps, hit the grunt tube so loud,
Okay.
stand there for a second, keep walking, hit the grunt tube,
All right.
and he did it from the time he was in view of me to the time he was out of view of me. Every 6 to 10 steps, he's hammering away on the grunt.
Yeah, he's trying to bring down the walls of Jericho.
Yeah. So, don't appreciate that.
Okay.
But that's not necessarily a bad hunter interaction. He's
No.
out there, he's got
doing
his
his thing.
strategy, he's trying his thing.
Yeah. Maybe it works for him.
I had another interaction. Again, this isn't a bad hunter interaction, but at 4:30, a guy comes bopping through.
AM or PM?
PM.
Okay.
Pulling a deer cart
Okay.
with no deer on it. He's just
Okay.
got all his equipment on there.
Okay.
And he's pulling it into a natural area where you're not supposed to be hunting.
Okay.
So that just bothered me, but
Sure.
maybe he was going to go around it, maybe he was going through it, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is bad hunter etiquette in my opinion.
This one's a valid complaint.
Like this I don't think is okay.
Yeah.
I think you are in the wrong here and you should not be doing this. You're not doing anything illegal, you're doing something wrong though.
Morally.
Last light was 5:20. And in Missouri, and I'll let Andrew talk about this either later in the podcast or at some other point. In Missouri, at last light, you can see extraordinarily well. Like there is no excuse, unless you have some sort of a eye condition or whatever, to not be able to see
Yeah,
at last
you
light.
should be in your stand looking for deer because you can see them 30 minutes after sunset, no problem.
Yeah, and of course this would be illegal, but you could see them through a rifle scope
Yeah.
of any kind of quality 20 to 30 minutes after legal light. It is
Probably, yeah.
so bright
Yeah.
there for the reasons that Andrew can talk about later because he figured it out.
I thought about it.
Last light was 5:20, and at 5:13, 2 fellas come walking through a field, and they're not just walking, they're like smoking and joking. They're talking, laughing, cracking up, walking through the field.
At what time?
At 5:13, 7 minutes before last light.
Spoiler, that's, I think, the exact time that I shot my buck.
It's not illegal, it's just wrong. Don't do that.
Yeah, stay in your stand until it's dark.
And
Or
if you
get
want,
out
yeah,
at 1.
yeah, it's 7 minutes. I
Yeah.
don't know what you're rushing to because they're
Yeah.
just slowly walking through the field. They were not actively hunting. They had left their stand. They
Yeah.
said we're done for the day.
Right.
They're joking and smoking while they're walking out. I think that is disrespectful to other hunters.
Yeah, on
Don't do
public,
that.
Yeah, don't do that. I agree.
Don't do that. Good
Yeah.
interaction.
Tom?
Tom.
Yep.
Shout out to Tom if you're out there.
Yep.
Good interaction with a public land hunter. We were going in for our last day hunt. We didn't know it was our last day hunt. When Andrew had killed his buck, I left all my stuff in a tree at a spot, which you're allowed to do on public. It just can't be permanent. You can leave your stuff there though, because we were going to hunt it the next morning. As we're getting dressed, guy pulls in the parking lot. He gets all his stuff together. We finish getting dressed at about the same time, ready to go.
Walk over to each other.
Walk up to each other. Hey, how you doing? Where are you headed to?
Yep.
He tells us, oh, I'm headed to this spot. I was like, oh man, that is like 200 yards from where we're setting up. I said, I would be happy to move, but
all my stuff's there.
all my stuff's already in a tree. And he was gracious and kind. He said, you know what, no problem. I'm going to shift over here. It doesn't really affect me that much. I think we can work it out. Not a problem. And we worked it out. No issues at all.
Yeah.
He could have been a pain and said, no, I'm going to this spot. You can move your stuff or you can hunt there. I could have been disrespectful and said, no, we don't want you out there. It's too close.
Yeah.
It worked out. It was a
fine.
common courtesy. Everything was good.
Yeah. He slipped by a little bit after we were up in the tree. It was no big deal.
Yeah. So shout out to Tom. That's a good public land interaction.
Yep.
And hopefully he felt the same about how we handled it.
And hopefully he shot a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was
good and bad public land interactions. I think you're going to get both.
And we had some good ones before we were hunting too, where people were out scouting, saying, "Hey, we're planning on being out here. Where are you guys going to be?"
Yep.
Yeah, we're locals. We've seen big deer out here. Those are good spots. Good luck type stuff.
We actually had a guy walk up to it or drive up, and he told us, "Oh, you guys are hunting out here in the morning." This was before opening day. He's like, "There's some big buck sign back there."
Yep.
And he's like, "Well, we'll be over in this area then."
Yep.
And clearly, like, there was some level of maybe a little bit of disappointment from him.
Right.
Like, I kind of wanted to be there. But he was like, "Nah, we got something else going. We're
exactly. Yeah, he had enough knowledge where he's like, I'll be fine over here.
Yeah. So shout out to those guys.
And I did hear shots from that way, so he may have shot one over there.
Hope you got a big one.
Yeah.
Hope you got a big one. Let's jump into lessons learned.
Lessons learned?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
So
I haven't thought about it at all.
Well, think while I talk.
I will. I'll be listening mostly because you're talking to me.
I've hunted private pretty much exclusively my whole life.
Spoiled. Hashtag blessed.
Yeah. No, I've been very blessed with permissions. I've hunted some public. In Maine, that's public access, but private property. I'd categorize that as public.
It's public.
And I've hunted some public other places with.
When we say it's public, it's private, but it's like hundreds of thousands of acres of private paper mill land.
Open to complete public access.
Yeah.
So my experience is generally, I'd say 95% private land hunting.
Yeah.
And I learned some things quickly and I learned some things slowly. Quickly, and I think I already knew this, but there was no doubt, you have to get pretty far in. Don't be lazy, and I never was lazy, but that was a pre-lesson.
Yeah, I don't think you necessarily have to, but it helps so much to just get away from where the other hunters are.
You're not hearing close shots. Get away from where you're going to hear close shots.
Yes.
The one that took me a little bit of time to learn, and that we put together on day 5, our last day of hunting, was you cannot hunt public land, what looks like an amazing spot and would be an amazing spot on private. On public, it's not.
Yeah.
Day 5, and you'll see this in the videos. You will have seen this in the videos. I was hunting a spot that if it was private land in the first week of November and you sit there for a week, I guarantee you're going to shoot a buck.
Yeah, you were hunting a Virginia prime rut muzzleloader private land spot.
You're going to kill a buck. A buck's going to cruise that wood edge.
Yeah.
And you're going to kill him. At 15 yards, you're going to shoot him.
They were never going to be there though.
And
50 miles per hour. Let's slow down a little bit.
And I think if that spot had been less pressured,
yeah,
I probably would have had a pretty good chance of killing a buck in the evening on an evening sit there. Still,
it was never going to happen yesterday.
It wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, and we'll get into that when we tell the stories.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. So
Yeah.
what we found, or what I found, is getting into spots where guys just don't want to be. I felt that, as I was walking to Andrew, I was like, oh yeah, nobody wants to get here. Nobody wants to walk on this.
Where I shot mine.
Because I'm side hilling something that, no.
Yeah, I was in like a giant gully.
Yeah, our area in Missouri that we were hunting the average is flat, but it's very steep for 50 or 100 feet. Where in Virginia, that terrain would go 300 or 400 feet up.
Yeah,
You're going like ditches, basically.
Yeah, we were in eastern Missouri, northern foothills of the Ozark Mountains. So like not wildly different topography from Virginia,
but less dramatic.
But overall less dramatic, more well-managed forest floors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was walking to where you were, I felt like, nobody really wants to side hill across this to get to the area that he's in. And that gave me some insight.
Yeah.
And then when we were going into the area to hunt my buck, and we actually, it's kind of cool, we killed my buck within 100 yards of a pin that I set while I was on vacation doing some pre-scouting of this conservation area. We were within 100 yards of a pin that I set on August 13th.
Really cool.
In the morning while I was eating my breakfast. Rebecca was out at sunrise, and I'm going through conservation areas pre-scouting, and threw down a pin saying, I think this is a good spot, killed a buck within 100 yards of it.
Yeah.
Another cool point was, unbeknownst to me, Brett had a pin within 50 yards of my pin and 50 yards of where we killed that buck.
And we were using the exact same strategy that I had used to kill my buck the night before.
Yeah.
Like, it was the exact same thought process of why we set up in that spot, which I thought was kind of cool.
So lesson learned on public land versus private is definitely get into nastier, thicker, more disgusting places where bucks feel more comfortable.
Yeah, that's one of the bigger ones for me too.
The other thing is and I know this from hunting for 28 years or whatever now. It can all change so quick.
Yeah.
Like I had not like dramatic like doubts or questions, but like I was feeling a little bit down on day 3 and day 4 at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because on day 3, and I don't know if we'll talk about day 3, where we were bow hunting.
Yeah.
Like I felt so confident and
going into
that day.
Right. And then it didn't work.
I was like, this is gonna be it. Like I think we're gonna make it happen on this spot.
Right.
For a variety of reasons that I felt pretty bummed when it didn't. And it was we came out to the truck and we're like, what do we do? And what we did was decisive action.
Yeah.
And
that was, to jump in here, one of the bigger things that I think we talked about it beforehand on the ride out here, was to not get tunnel visioned and married to something, but just move if it's not right. We've got saddles, we've got sticks. Let me get a little acceleration here to let that guy merge.
We got a turbo that whistles.
Come on now. We got saddles, we got sticks. We're really mobile, we're in good shape. We can go up and down a hill if we need to.
Yeah.
Or we can move conservation areas where on the day, we moved around a lot. If something wasn't right, if the spot was good but it wasn't good for the wind or it wasn't good for the time of day, personally, I probably moved more than you this week.
Yeah,
where there were days I was in 3 different spots.
And you killed your buck on the third tree that you hunted that day.
The third tree, yeah. And I had put a ground stalk on something.
Right.
So I was trying everything. First tree, good spot for the morning. Bad tree to sit in all day. Left. Second tree, good tree, mostly an evening tree. I'm like, why am I sitting here? I'm just gonna wait 6 hours for evening to come.
Yeah.
Let's move again, and then found the final tree that I sat in.
And for my buck, we sat till 7:45.
Yeah.
In the tree that I'd hunted all day the day before, waiting for evening to just have it being ruined by those 2 guys.
Yep. And I was like, I was thinking it. I wasn't gonna dictate it because it was your hunt and I was just filming. But I was hoping you were gonna say let's move soon.
Yeah. So
By 7, I was like, all right, this isn't the right spot.
No, and I think when we said let's not get locked in on the way out here on that podcast, generally we were talking about like we can move conservation areas.
Yeah.
We can go if we need to. We can go to the northwestern corner of the state.
Right. We got the whole state
and hunt out there.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can go wherever we need to go within the state.
Yep.
But on a more micro level, if it's not working in this tree,
Yeah.
the wind's not right, something's not right. There's
And
too much
you just
pressure.
know it's not right. Get out of there.
Yeah. Get out.
Go walk another
And-
half mile.
And you've got the flexibility with the sticks and the saddles.
Yeah, it's gonna take an hour, but if it's 11 o'clock,
You've got 12 hours of hunting.
you got plenty of time.
Yeah. Make your move. Don't not change something and wish you had.
Right. Exactly.
So decisive action.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm working on getting better at with hunting is I'm in a phase where I overthink things, and I've caught myself even on private land that I know like the back of my hand. I'll stand there for 10 minutes saying, shoot, what do I want to do in this situation?
Yeah.
Instead of just making a decision, and then I can always change.
Right.
So I need
And-
to be better at making a decision.
Yeah. Executing a bad plan is better than having no plan and doing
Yep.
nothing,
Right.
because then you at least learn something.
That's right. That's right. And I
Yeah.
think that all of the things that we learned contributed into like the culmination of how we killed my buck is like we were dialed.
Yeah.
We were dialed in.
Yeah. We made those choices quick and correctly.
And something, I might throw the graphic up here at some point. Something that I had just been texting a friend about while we were in the tree. He was asking me for some advice on killing a buck. And I sent him a screen grab of the area that we were. And
Did you
I marked
explain,
it
like,
all
what
up.
we were
and
thinking
I
and
said,
everything?
here's what we're expecting to happen. 12 minutes later, it happened and we killed a buck.
Yeah.
So that worked out pretty well. Any other lessons that you learned?
I don't know. If you can cross water, I think that's huge on public, because I don't think people want to walk across a river. Like when I was in our first spot for the first 2 days that we hunted, there was no pressure.
None.
None. I walked 1.5 miles and I went across a river through 8 to 12 inches of water just on foot
Right.
both days. And there was nothing out there. I was the only person.
Yeah.
So I think on the other side, there was definitely people. But if you get across water, that's prime. But
Good.
nothing really big.
Well, I think that,
You covered a lot of the things that I was thinking about.
yeah, we've talked about it throughout the week, so maybe I talked too much about it, but that brings us into day one of hunting.
Day one of hunting was
And
cool.
you
Yeah.
had some awesome interactions. My day was very, nothing happened.
I don't think you saw deer day one.
I didn't see
I think
deer
I
day
saw
one.
4 bucks day one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was kind of cool for me. So, as you all know, I'm still a fairly new hunter in comparison to Luke or most people that call themselves hunters, where really last year was the first year that I took it pretty seriously. And it's kind of just cool to see the process of like how much you can learn quickly if you dedicate yourself to something. Where we had that one day of scouting, and then by the next morning I was able to sneak in and get onto a good spot where I was seeing bucks almost immediately, where again it was down a giant gully back behind where we parked, across a river about 1.5 miles from the truck, and I set up near a pretty substantial scrape and rub right off of bedding in a really aggressive spot. So the first day we were trying to pull off a bow hunt during gun season. Lesson learned, probably shouldn't have done that. But I was in a really aggressive spot where I was probably 20, 30 yards from super, super thick thermal covered bedding area for does. Where I had walked past it / through it the day before I had seen the scrape. The wind was perfect. It was blowing out of the bedding across me towards the river that was behind me. And I had found a clear crossing point where there was just riddled with tracks coming across the river. So I was like, all right, they're crossing here. They're going up this drainage. They're going to go into this bedding. And a buck is going to follow them or is going to do the same thing and then walk on the downwind side of it, cruising the river bottom to check the bedding. So I set up, super aggressive spot. Wouldn't have set up there if I had a rifle, but probably would have worked. At like 7-ish, I had that's a random guy just holding a slow sign for no apparent reason, but these brake lights up here, that's why. And so like 7 o'clock, I see a doe fly by, maybe 80 yards in front of me, sprinting through the bedding. Buck apparently chasing her that I didn't see, but it looked like she was being chased. So I hit a grunt and then a little bit of rattling. Buck stops on a dime, sprints straight at me, gets to like 20 yards, sees me putting the rattles back because he stopped and he just came right for me. Planted a foot, turned around and dipped like Bijan Robinson. So that was kind of cool to see that. That was like a nice 8-pointer. I didn't see him super well, didn't get good footage of him. I got maybe his tail end running away. So that was like 7. I'm like, all right, I'm in an all right spot. And then 9 o'clock comes along, maybe 9:15 or so. I hear crunching behind me. Whoa! Somebody just cut off a semi-truck.
In a Hyundai.
Sometimes you got to do that. Chase that
Drive it
dragon.
like it's stolen.
Yeah, exactly.
It
might be.
probably is.
It might be. So hear crunching behind me. Turn my head, 80 yards away, back at the river, just coming out of. There's like a strip of cedars that goes along the river.
Mm-hmm.
Stud buck. Immediately, I'm like, oh, that's a shooter. Like that's a shooter. He's got to come this way. So I get my camera on him. I get my GoPro going. I get my phone. Or not my phone, my bow, excuse me. And I'm set up and I'm ready. And he's cruising, sort of from behind me to my right, walking up the outside of the drainage that I was sitting right off of. Bangs the left right at me. I get him to 13 yards. I'm at full draw. And there's twigs and branches in the way where he's quartering to me at 13 yards. And I'm at full draw and I've got like 4 seconds. And in the footage, you can see my finger go to the release, come back from the release, go to the release, come back from the release, where I couldn't make the, like, yeah, I can punch that through because I had one like 2-inch branch like right in front of his shoulder and then a bunch of other little twigs.
And he's quartering towards you.
And he's quartering to me and I'm like, I don't want to wound this animal. I wanted him to take one more step.
Yeah.
But as soon as he got to the spot where he didn't take another step, he like looks directly at me, freezes for, like I said, probably 4 or 5 seconds, felt like an eternity, and then soft bumped 40 yards away, stared at me for a little while, disappeared, never saw him. And he was a slob.
Yeah.
Like, looking
Mega.
back at the footage, just a bruiser.
Yeah, so I think we've talked about this, but you made the right decision not shooting. I am not against, I'm not like flat out against taking a frontal shot. A quartering to is a lot harder than a frontal shot.
I think if there was no brush, I'm shooting the deer.
I mean,
I'm gonna put it
you're
slightly,
a very good shooter and it's a very close shot, so I think that's fine. But with any sort of brush, any sort of deflection, especially because you're going through a mature buck at his
angle.
widest point, like you're coming through his front
I would have had
shoulder.
to put it. I would have had to put it like low neck
Yeah.
and aimed for the far right shoulder.
And you're just probably not going to get an exit hole there.
Probably
And if you
not.
don't get an exit on a shot where your entry is so high, you're not going to get a blood trail. So unless you see that buck fall,
Yeah,
man, you're going to have a rough time.
which would have sucked.
You're going to have a rough time. And you're going to hate the fact that you made the decision to shoot. So I think you made the right call. And I think we'll put Brett on that buck and hopefully
Yeah.
you end up seeing that buck.
Yeah, I didn't see him again. I went back to the same spot
Not
the next
you.
day.
Hopefully Brett ends up killing him.
Yes, absolutely. But I'm saying I went back to the same spot the next day, or same general spot.
Yeah,
No
but
sight.
He could be 1,000 yards away.
And then after that, I saw A spike cruise did almost the exact same thing the big buck did, and then in the evening, I had one come from the left doing the exact same thing, a little 6-pointer. So a lot of bucks that day,
Yeah.
which was cool to just like slip into a spot that you've never been to in a different state and like you're on bucks.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was encouraging for me personally. Of like, okay, we can pull this off.
Right. So then you got Redemption.
I did get Redemption. I did get
Redemption. So after hunting through 4 more different conservation areas,
Yep.
I think that was our 5th one that we were on, and our 4th one that we hunted.
That sounds right.
On our 4th one that we hunted, and the most heavily pressured by a long shot. And we're
Yeah.
only going to mention one conservation area
For a specific reason.
for a specific reason
Yeah.
at the end of this.
Because we want to know if the internet knows something about
Yeah.
it.
But other than that, we're not going to
Yeah.
put any names or spots out there. So we're at our 4th spot that we're hunting.
Yeah.
It is day 4.
And this is right after the day where we went to a little 250-acre
Bow
archery only spot that Luke was really excited about. I was really excited about.
And-
he had higher hopes for it than I did, I
And
think.
that spot, I mean, if you get in there in the right time,
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
a 180 goes through that spot a couple
Mhm.
times a year. There's no
Yeah.
doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Like an absolute mega giant goes through that property a couple times a year, if not existing on that property.
Right. Because it was entirely surrounded by...
Thousands of acres of crop
Yes.
fields. It is the little wooded patch. I mean, and there's
right off a
there's
highway.
old fence rows. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
it was really cool.
It's perfect.
Um,
Hopefully that's not too much information and I blow that spot up. But,
it's fine. It's...
all right, so day 4.
Day 4 is we were disappointed that we didn't shoot one on the archery hunt. We skip town. We go 50 miles north or something like that, where
I think it was only 35 miles.
but it
as
was
the
an
crow flies.
hour and something and change north.
Yeah. So in Missouri, sorry, cutting you off. In Missouri,
That's fine.
because you got the Missouri River going right through it,
You got to get
there's
to
only
a bridge.
so many crossings.
You got to get to a bridge.
Right. So instead of just going across, you have to drive around to go to a bridge to then come back up.
Right.
So
Okay, so we're in a new spot. Luke and I, the night before, we were talking like, all right, where are we setting up? We're not sure. We got in late. We're not going to be on as much sleep. We were both immediately like, I kind of want to sit a field edge. So he picked his field. I picked my field. This was a property that they'd clearly been doing like controlled burns on fields. So they had really nice fields that you could sit on. So again, I'm going deep. I'm like, all right, I'm going south, you're going north. I'm going a mile this way, and I'm gonna sit a field edge. I go down, again, because I am a sicko, I go down a drainage that's like this steep, and then up a drainage that's like this steep to get to my first field edge. I pick a terrible tree. It's like a 4-inch round little oak tree. I can't even get my camera mounted on it. I sit there for maybe an hour. I'm like, this isn't gonna work. I'm out of here. So I get down, I walk a whole bunch, maybe half a mile to the west, sit up on top of a giant, one of those gullies that I like to walk through, drainage that was feeding up to the field. I sit there for like 2 hours because I can see really, really far, and I'm like, I got a rifle and I smell bad. I just want to be able to see far.
that's the other thing we said after day 3.
Yeah.
We said we're done with the bows.
Yeah, because
it was day 3 of hunting, but it was day 5 without a shower.
yeah, it was bad. So it's like deer were smelling us. I was like, give me some yardage.
Yeah. We got to kill it before it can get within that bubble.
Exactly. So that was my thought process. And then I'm like, why am I sitting here? I'm sitting on the top of a drainage right next to a field looking into the woods. I'm not going to see anything for the next 7 hours. So like, all right, I'm getting down. So I get down. Again, we're blind in this. We've done no scouting during daylight. I'm like, let me just walk and scout and go real quiet. It had just thunderstormed like crazy the night before, so the leaves were wet, so I could walk through the woods quietly. So I was like, that's what I'll do. So I go down this drainage and then back up the other side, and I walk through some bedding areas. I'm not seeing much sign. I get down to the bottom, and then I'm looking at Onyx, and I'm like, okay, this creek complex, the whole thing intersects at one point in the middle of this forest, and all of the creeks then feed into drainages that lead to fields. I'm like, if I'm a buck, I'm gonna be in the thick, nasty stuff in the bottom of the woods, waiting for nighttime to walk one of these drainages some direction to go to a field or find a doe. So I'm walking that way. I'm going towards the center of the woods. I bump a buck. He was down, bedded in the creek bottom in nasty, gross, scrubby stuff in the drainage or the creek bottom. He bumps, doesn't go far, probably 300 yards. I try to put a little stalk on him, find him. I do a little bit of rattling and grunting. I dropped all my stuff, never saw him. I'm like, that's fine. I just bumped a deer. I know the deer want to be here because they were just here. I go back to where I bumped him essentially exactly, climb up a tree, and I wait. And then I don't see another deer until 5:10, where it is 20 minutes after sunset, 10 minutes left of legal, and from the direction that I bumped the buck, I think the same buck comes out. He comes walking. I get my binoculars on him. I see horn. I'm like, all right, we're shooting him. I put my binoculars back down. I flip both cameras on. He sees me flip my big camera on. So I'm like, oh shoot. I turn the screen away so he can't see the light. And then as I'm doing that, he jumps and he's running sort of parallel uphill, side hill from me, where he had been walking just outside of the creek bottom, going towards a field, where I thought that was exactly what he was gonna do. So he's running. I don't have my gun in my hand because I'm juggling all the filming stuff.
Sure.
And I just start hitting him with mats. So I'm like, mat. And it was probably like the 7th mat that he finally stops. I now have my gun in my hand, and he stopped for, I think from the time that I got my gun up or in my hand to shooting was like 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds. And one shot dropped him maybe 75 yards up the hill from me. He slid down the hill towards me.
Perfect.
Beautiful. It was perfect. Didn't get it on film, but you can see me shoot him. So yeah, that was my buck, where, again, I was just in the thick, nasty stuff, trying to think like a buck that's hiding from deer hunters.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. First public land buck.
First public land buck.
Very exciting.
So that
Little
night,
9-pointer.
Yeah, it's a great buck.
Yeah.
That night after he shot, I left all of my sticks and my platform in the tree, and I hiked to the truck, got a bigger backpack, got some snacks and some waters, hiked a mile into him.
Yep.
You had your deer
because I had started walking back towards you.
Yeah.
With where I picked my next spot.
Right. So you had him all gutted out.
Yep.
Field dressed.
Yep.
When I got to you, I quartered him in the field.
Yep.
And we put him in bags and
carried him out.
Yep. Which I think was the right decision for the night.
It was warm. It was really warm. It was like 60 degrees out.
We had bugs everywhere.
Yeah.
And we were on really steep, nasty terrain. And
yeah, we had 100 yards straight uphill.
And we were out of light, basically. Like we needed headlamps and everything had to be done.
Both my headlamps were
now.
dying. That was the story of my week, was all of my headlamps were always dead.
Yeah. So I think we made the right decision to quarter him out.
Yep.
But we also learned some things, like you're going to get some dirtier meat, and that's not ideal.
Yeah, it is what it is.
That was the first deer I've ever quartered in the field and carried out.
You did a bang-up job.
The
backpack was too small.
Backpack's too small. I got a bigger backpack that I was gonna bring, but I didn't want to get bloody.
I thought about bringing one too.
I got a meat packing bag, but I did not want to get it all bloody.
It's a meat packing bag.
Well, it's not actually for that. It's just perfect for it.
Got it. I'm not sure why the oversized load leader car just passed me when the oversized load is behind me.
These dump trucks are gonna break our windshield.
Yeah, well, I was gonna pass them, but I got a steady stream of cars on my left.
All right, so that brings us into
Don't
day
get
5.
off the road by pools. Yeah, day 5.
And
so
my hunt. So we go in together.
Yep.
And the reason we went in together, of course, Andrew's already killed. You only get one buck during gun season in Missouri.
So I'm filming.
He's on the camera, and I still had high expectations and hopes for the spot that we were going into, because I thought, okay, my day was messed up by other hunters yesterday, and not by my spot not being perfect. As soon as we're hiking in and the other guy's hiking to basically the same spot, and then we are followed in by a third guy, I see a white light coming through.
Yeah.
Like, now there's 4 fellows walking into the same area. Andrew's at the top of the tree hanging his platform, and I see the third guy walk past us 100 yards behind us. At that point, I was like, this is not good.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to give it the morning because we're set up and we're done.
Yeah, as soon as daylight broke, I was like, I see the vision. This isn't the right spot.
Yeah, and we had a deer underneath us.
Yeah. Like
in the dark.
Directly underneath our stand.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it wasn't going to work. So I think it was 7:19. I said, let's give it till 8 and get down. And then 20 minutes later, I'm like, no, we're done.
Yep.
And we got down and we'd done like some quick e-scouting in the tree.
Yep.
And I was looking at that pin that I'd set on August 13th, and I was like, I just want to get in this area. It seems right for a couple different reasons. There's a drainage that fed up into the field.
Yep.
There's lots of acorn-producing oaks and thermal cover in that area. And something cool you guys can do on your Onyx is go into your layers, turn on your thermal cover, and turn on your acorn-producing oaks. And then just figure it out from there. Like, you want to be in a place where deer have access to thick, nasty cover for bedding. They also have access to food, and they have access to water. It's like Maslow's hierarchy, right? Like, what do they need? Is that the right one? Maslow's hierarchy?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You need shelter, you need food,
Something
you
about
need
a dog
water.
salivating.
And deer are the same. So you want to be in something that provides those different needs. And where we were made sense. So
Because we got what you need.
we'd also seen the only buck sign I saw on the whole property. It's a big conservation area. The only buck sign was 2 shredded little, like, pinky-sized trees.
little whippets.
Yeah. And then 1 scrape, and it was a fresh nighttime scrape on a main path.
It had definitely been hit recently.
It was hit two mornings in a row when I walked past it. It had been hit. So I know that there's a buck living in the area. Like, the sign is fresh. It's obviously nighttime because it's a scrape in the middle of November.
Let me get those sunnies right there. Thank you. Sorry.
But you know that there's a buck in the area. So what we did was we walked way back down the path towards the truck, got the wind in our face.
It was a nice north wind that day.
Yep. We cut in off of the path. We turned left off the path, which would have been to the east. So we turned east off the path with a north wind as we're walking below with a spot where we want to get to, if that makes sense.
Yep.
While we're moving in there, we bumped does. And
We talked about
touch
this.
on this real quick.
Yep. And then tell the example of the guy that we talked to.
Yeah. Bumping does, depending on the time of the year and the time of the day, is not a bad thing. The does are where they want to be. They're in a spot that they are used to and want to exist.
Yeah. Good job. You found the deer.
Right. You found the deer. You bumped the does.
Right. They're not
Now,
going far.
It's the end of the rut, but it's the rut. So the areas that the bucks are going to go looking for does are the areas that you're now in.
Right.
Don't leave those areas too much.
Right.
So when we bumped those does, and it's also public land. They're used to seeing seeing people all the time. The deer are used to being bumped. They're not going to go 1,000 yards. They're not leaving by a mile.
And
they're leaving just out of sight.
And they're probably used to being bumped by people that are just going to keep walking.
This guy's walking through the woods all the time. They're just going to leave sight and they're going to stop. If you've bumped does, you're in the spot. Figure it out from there. Like, you're close. So we bumped does. The real quick tangent side story. When we got back to the truck, we met a young man going in. He's a newer hunter. He's a college student. He's like, hey, where do you think I should go? And Andrew's like, hey, I'd go up here. There's lots of sign of deer. I saw a bunch of does, saw a bunch of deer. Like, there's things up here. Sends him up there as I'm just starting to process my deer. He comes back an hour and a half later. I'm done processing. We're packing up the camper. Like, hey man, did you get one? Like, do you need help dragging this?
Yeah,
like,
why are you back so fast?
Like, we'll go help you.
Yeah.
We're leaving, but we're going to go help you if you
Right.
killed a deer.
Right.
Right? He's a young guy. If he actually went 1.5 miles in there, he needs some help.
Right.
He's like, oh, I got into exactly the spot I wanted to go, where he told me to go, and I bumped a bunch of does, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to go to a private little permission I've got. Like, oh, man,
We're like,
you're
dude,
there.
you found the deer.
You did it. You just set up now and wait.
They're going to come back.
So he got a sticker, and if you're watching this, we were kicking ourselves. We're like, man, you had it. You figured it
You
out.
were right there.
So-
That's where the bucks want to be because the does were there.
Yeah, bumping does is not that big of a deal. Now, different if you bump a doe in the middle of, like, your walk in, that's a pain when she blows and she makes a bunch of noise.
Or you get busted by a doe at 5 o'clock. It's
Sure,
like, okay.
getting busted's a lot different than bumping a doe.
Yeah.
Getting busted in a tree, totally different
Yeah.
than bumping a deer while you're walking.
Yeah.
Totally different scenario.
Yeah.
If you just bump a deer, it's fine.
Yeah.
Even
Again,
if you bump a buck.
we had just bumped 3 does when we were walking to your
So we
your
know we're,
stand,
yeah,
your-
back
your
to
tree.
the story. We know we're close.
Yes.
That when we bumped those does, we were about 150, maybe 200 yards off the pin that we wanted to get to,
Right.
where we thought that we had a good chance.
Yep.
As we're moving through, we noticed a couple things about the area. One, it's real steep, and two, the state had done a bunch of ground cover management. So they'd done a bunch of like hack and squirts on trees. They'd girdled a bunch of trees to let them fall naturally, and they just cut down a bunch of like 4-inch like scrub trees
Yeah.
to create a bunch of ground cover. One, it's great deer bedding. A lot of songbirds, a lot of bunnies, like all of the things that live in the woods like to have dead stuff on the wood,
Yeah.
on the wood floor, right? It gives them some cover, and it makes it a giant pain for a fella to get in there.
Yeah.
So we
It's
liked
nice.
that. We got into a dry creek bottom as
Yeah.
we're hiking in there. I said, "This is too loud. I don't like this. We need to get out of this." We got up off the side of it.
Again,
Yep.
these creek bottoms all intersected.
Yeah. So we got into like a bunch of little ravines, and we got onto a finger into one of these ravines where, as we've got the finger here, the ridge finger coming out. We've got a creek coming out here, and we got a creek coming out here. And these are not active water draining creeks. This is like maybe snowmelt creeks.
Yeah,
Like-
or big storms, or
Yeah,
they're
it's-
labeled as creeks on Onyx, but there's never any water.
It's
in
like a
them.
drainage. It's
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
hillside drainage.
Think
ridge
like
line
mountain
drainage.
gutter.
Right. So as we set up there, we've got a field way off to our north. We've got drainages on either side of us on a ridge. We've got thick bedding cover behind us, thick bedding cover up to our left, and we've got thick bedding cover that we can't see but we know is there in front of us to our right.
And then a lot of open woods up to the path
Yep.
for about 200 yards in front of us.
Yeah, we could shoot 200 yards in front of us
Yeah.
for sure. But surrounded by bedding.
Yeah.
We've got food, we got water, we got thermal cover. All the things that we want are in this spot, and we're kind of in the middle of it all.
Yeah.
And that was developed, again, sitting at the table in Massachusetts on vacation, eating my breakfast.
And again, you didn't go exactly to your pin because you're like, this area looks good.
Right.
But then you got your feet on the ground and you said, nah, this spot is
we would have
better.
overcommitted ourselves if we'd gone to the
We
pin.
probably would have spooked that
The
buck
pin,
away.
the pin is, I probably put the pin on where the buck came out of.
Essentially, yes.
Like within 15 or 20 yards probably. Like he passed that pin.
yeah.
So I'm a little bit like,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
So we're set up there. We get all set up by 9:30. I think it was 9:36 when I looked at the clock and said, okay, we're set.
That sounds about right.
Um,
So again, we got out of the tree at 7:19.
no, 7:49.
7:49. So we took 2 full hours to adjust. Where
And we moved almost a mile, not of
Yeah.
as the crow flies, but we hiked a mile to get around to where we
yeah,
wanted
we
to be.
got the wind right, and we picked our spot intentionally.
Right. And we scouted our
took
way
some
in slow.
time, and we went up real high, and there's 2 fellas going into the tree. Everything takes some time.
Right.
But it's like, no, this is a worthwhile move. We're gonna commit 2 hours
Yep.
to getting the spot right.
Yeah. And we got the spot right.
Yeah.
Just kind of jumped to it. 40 minutes later, 40 minutes after we're fully hung in the tree, everything's right. I'm on the left back side of the tree. Andrew's on the front right of the tree. And between, so right past Andrew, as I'm looking at the tree, I see a buck coming down the hill. First, I just see that it's a deer. I say, deer.
Yep.
He was probably 70 yards off of us, working his way, side hilling down the ridge on the other side of the ravine. There again, if we got this ravine,
the drainages.
if we got this ravine here, he's now over here on this other side, coming down the hill to get into that gutter, probably work his way up into the acorns. And
Or all the bedding that was just to our left.
sure, it might just be trying to get down to check some bedding.
Yeah.
So I say there's deer. A couple seconds later, I see he's got a rack. He's not like a spike buck. He's got a rack. We're on our second to last day, and I say to Andrew, I'm killing him. As soon as I say deer, Andrew reaches up, turns the GoPro on. He's getting his camera going. When I say I'm killing him, right before that, he had the camera rolling. He swings the camera around. He's on him, and I don't know, maybe 3 seconds, 4 seconds after he's on him.
I hadn't seen the deer until the camera saw the deer. I heard deer, and I got cameras on, and then I flipped around and I found him, and I was rolling.
He's quartering away to us, working down the hill. And another little side tangent. The day before, on day 4, when I was getting all set up in the tree, I had to move a big dead branch off of my tree. That, again, the state had cut it, and it had just fallen on a tree, and they left it there. And I pulled it down off that tree because it was kind of blocking where I wanted my saddle to be, and I didn't want a big dead limb hanging there. When I did that, I had my rifle over my shoulder, and I tripped and fell when the branch fell.
It's not a hunting trip if Luke doesn't fall.
And I put that much of my barrel into the dirt, and I had to clean my barrel out with a .270 caliber sapling and then my pull-up rope.
Okay.
When I say cleaned out, I cleared obstruction. I did not get it clean.
Yeah, you brushed it out.
And before we left, I was like, man, do I bring my gun cleaning kit? And I didn't. I said, it'll be fine. I always tape my barrels, and I didn't tape my barrel. So I got the obstruction cleared from my rifle, but I had a little bit of a concern because I'd made sure everything was safe, and I'd put the light on the on it, and there was still some stuff in that barrel. So I knew it was definitely going to marginalize my accuracy. My first shot hit him. It was.
Did you ever figure out where you hit him?
Yeah. So he's quartering away.
Yep.
The first shot would have killed him.
Okay.
But it was not exactly where I wanted it. It was a little bit high and back.
Okay. It exited right near your second shot.
With a front exit on the passenger side shoulder.
Okay.
He arched his back a little bit, if I remember the video right.
Sure.
He arched a little bit, and he kind of like clearly moves down the ravine and up to the other side and in front of us. Andrew says, hit him again or shoot him again, and I put a second one on him and tumble him.
And fired up, doubled up in Missouri.
Yeah, and the reaction was like, I don't get.
Animated.
I'm generally pretty like level. Like I'm not too down, I'm not too up.
You were up.
And it was like I was pumped.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've gotten more like emphatically excited about killing a deer. Maybe the first one I killed with a bow, that big 8-pointer. I was pretty pumped, but like just like real raw reaction.
Yeah, it was
I
good.
was
You were hitting
fired
me and
up.
whatnot. Yeah.
Like
It
the
was
whole
great.
conservation area,
They knew.
5,000, 8,000, whatever, however big it was, they knew I just killed a buck
Yeah.
because I was yelling. So sorry if I messed your hunt up. Bad public land hunter, maybe. I was fired up.
Yeah. It was so sick because it happened so quick. Like he said, we were 40 minutes in the tree. He said, we were sitting there, I think we had just eaten some breakfast or something like that in the tree. We had just been like sort of chit-chatting back and forth, laughing about something. And then he goes, there's a deer. And then 2 seconds later, he goes, I'm going to kill him. 3 seconds later, I'm filming. 1 second later, he says, are you on him? Bang, first shot. He runs, I don't know, 70 more yards sort of in front of us for another 80-yard shot or something like that.
Yeah.
And I go, hit him again, and then bang, and he's down. And it
Yeah.
just like, it was bang, 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 bang after 2 hours
Yeah.
of moving, which was really cool.
Yeah, so the first shot was like,
I think it would have taken him out.
it was high, back, driver's side lung, exiting through, front, bottom, passenger
But
side
then when
lung.
he stopped, he was just standing there perfect broadside.
and
I
he
was
got-
like,
he got-
just hit him.
Yeah, he got hard shot.
Put him down quick.
Yeah. So really nice 10-pointer.
Yep.
Not a mega giant, not a huge deer, but a really good
Really-
representative 3-year-old public land
Yeah,
Missouri
mature
buck.
deer. Yeah, I mean,
So 2 bucks within 12 hours of each other, not 12 hours,
within
18 hours of each other.
no less, because I shot mine at 5. You shot yours at 10 o'clock.
All right, so
Whatever. that
18
was.
hours.
Yeah,
17
18 hours. You're
17
right.
hours.
Sorry, I'll shut up.
we dragged that one out. Little pro tip, and we'll show some video of this. I'm sure it's in the footage.
Game changer.
If you've got 2 fellas with saddles, you got 2 fellas with dragon harnesses.
Yeah, yeah.
Run
like a team of oxen.
run a lineman's rope from right hip around the antlers to left hip
hip.
of the other fella, and
And
drag
then just
that
walk.
buck out.
Yep.
That's the easiest way that I've found to pull a deer out,
And we dragged him
other
a
than
mile.
the jet sled in Maine.
Yeah. He got some bad road rash, but we dragged him.
Yeah, he was dragged. Yeah,
Gravel the whole way, essentially.
Well, up steep, and then
Down
yeah,
steep, and then
down
up steep again.
yeah. And then the paths are all like lightly graveled
Yeah.
in Missouri.
And
So
gravel at speed acts as a liquid.
we learned that.
Yeah.
We couldn't get to that speed though.
No, we tried.
So Missouri double, we got it done.
We got it done.
We came to Missouri, the Show Me State.
Yeah, yeah. So before we finish, Little Indian Creek Conservation Area. Is it haunted? Maybe. Story time with Andrew and Luke.
And Brett. We're gonna tell Brett's
And
story.
Brett. You tell Brett's story. I'm gonna start, and then it'll feed into you, and you go with the rest.
Okay.
All right. So this was day 3 of hunting, I believe. We're at Little Indian Creek.
Day 2. It was day 2.
No, because we hunted the whole day, both days at the first place, didn't we?
No. We
No,
hunted
okay.
a day and a half.
A day and a half there. All right.
So
You're right.
this
Day
is the
2.
only conservation area that we're gonna mention by name. Little Indian Creek in Missouri.
Is it haunted? I don't know. But here's what happened. What had happened was, again, I was up at the top of the property, close to private. Luke and I had walked in together and sort of split off from each other, where he was probably 800 yards down the ridge
ridge
line
line.
from me.
What did you see while we were walking in?
So when we were scouting it on Friday, we had walked up the same ridge but a slightly different path, and there's 2 divots in the ground. And oftentimes when you find divots in the ground, if they're perfectly parallel, about 6 feet long and 2 feet apart, maybe 2.5 feet apart from each other, they're old sunken graves. So I'm walking past them, and I'm like, hey, that kind of looks like it might have been graves. Like, what direction do graves typically point? I'm like, I don't remember. I think it's east-west. I'm not sure exactly. It's either east-west or north-south. I didn't check. We were looking for deer. I just kept looking. So pin that. There's also a cemetery on the property. Side note. Point being, it's like 6:30. We're about an hour after dark. I climbed down. It's like a 1.5 mile hike out. And I'm walking the same route that Luke and I took in, because I thought maybe we'll intersect. We're going back to a path that will eventually lead us back to the truck. I am maybe 1/2 mile from the truck and 300 yards from the road where I'm expecting to intersect with Luke, which is down to my left. Up to my right, I am in thick, nasty cedar bedding that I wanted to get above, and Luke was sort of hunting more closely too. I see off to my right, maybe 50 yards, a light. I'm like, oh, there's Luke, there's his headlamp. It's just a regularly colored LED looking bluish glow. And I'm like, I'm just gonna keep walking at that. And then it goes out. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I'm like, maybe is Luke playing a prank on me? It was my first thought. I was like, this is not a game that I would like to be playing in the dark when there's no moon out and I'm in the middle of the woods. Like, don't try to scare me. I don't like that. So the light goes out. I'm like, maybe it was just a reflection of something. That's weird. So I keep walking directly at this light. Again, albeit it's slightly to my right and slightly uphill from me, which turns out was not the direction Luke was coming from. 3 minutes later, green light comes on. A lot of headlamps have like a green light on them. I'm like, what is that? Is that like a reflection of an eyeball in the woods? Because like animals' eyes, they reflect to pick up the light better than ours. I'm like, what is that? It goes out. And I'm like, okay, I'm fully freaked out. Then I hear a whistle. Unspoken rule, Luke and I don't whistle to each other in the woods, we owl hoot. If we're trying to find each other in the woods, one of us will owl hoot, the other one will reply. So I'm like, Luke, is that you? And no answer. And then I hear another whistle. And I'm like, I'm gone. And I what am I supposed to do? I'm going this way, so I keep going the exact same direction directly at this light. I'm like, I don't have any fight or flight in me. I got fight or I'm gonna die because I'm tired. I'm just going this way. So I book it straight past where the light was, didn't see anything, terrified. Get to Luke, I tell him what happens, and he goes, Andrew, I just texted you. And what did you text me, Luke?
I texted him
like
as
20
I'm
minutes
walking
before
down,
this.
and no service in this spot, so
I didn't get it.
I said, this place is creepy. And
Unprompted, he texts me, this place is creepy.
And I got watch your EGTs, they're way up. I texted him that while I was walking out, just because I was feeling like a heaviness, like a darkness.
Yeah. Sorry.
We're doing some driving here.
I got people
Crop
behind
this
me.
out. Yeah. EGT spiked way up.
That was me doing that.
Sorry. So I texted him like 20 minutes earlier saying, this place is creepy. And I just felt like a heaviness, like a darkness, like a cloud over it. It's just weird because it's bright. Like it's not that, there's nothing physical wrong with this place that
During the
we can
daytime,
identify.
I didn't feel anything weird.
No. Now there were like owls going crazy and there were coyotes going crazy.
Dogs
like,
barking at the coyotes.
There were things that were creepy there, but I hear owls all the time.
Typical wood stuff.
Coyotes don't scare me.
No.
No issues there. My GPS didn't work at all there.
Very strange. It was completely pointed the wrong direction.
Like 180 degrees. My GPS stopped working.
And like only there, essentially, right? Or
no,
did it keep working?
No,
or just stopped
I had
there?
to recalibrate it.
Okay.
It fixed itself after I recalibrated, but it stopped working while we were there. Weird. And I didn't have any actual real interactions that made me feel like it was creepy other than just this darkness over the place. So Andrew comes out, he's clearly freaked out. He's telling me the story. I was like, dude, I just texted you saying this place is creepy.
And I'm like, all the hairs on my body are standing up. Like, what is going on?
Yeah. So this is the spot where we had the absolute biggest buck sign. It intel of big bucks in the area.
Giants.
And we never went back.
Yeah, we got to the truck and I was like, I don't want to hunt here.
No.
Like, this is freaky.
No.
I'm good on that.
And there's no reason not to hunt here because this is like primo, like good chance we shoot a mega. So last night, end of day 5, we finished cutting up my deer and we're on our way out of the state. We stopped to see Brett. He's my buddy. We used to work together. Just wanted to say hey, giving him like a mug as a token of our appreciation for him. We're telling him this story about Indian Creek and he stops us. He's like, hold on, stop everything. I got to tell you what happened to me. And Brett has been hunting public land his whole life. He's very, very experienced hunter.
Thousands upon thousands of hunts in woods by himself.
Yeah, in remote places. He's the kind of guy who's going to go do something crazy. He's going to kayak in on the Missouri to find a spot that nobody in their right mind would do it. He's a psychopath in the best kind of way.
Right.
He's not going to get scared of things in the woods. And I've seen him in dangerous, like in situations. He's not that guy, right?
Calm,
he's
cool,
like,
and collected.
Yeah.
He's under control.
for sure. He's nuts, but he's under control.
Right.
And I mean that in the best way.
Like
I love
a
you, Brett.
stallion.
Yeah, like a stallion, right? So he's like, dude, I was walking out of there, and he's walking out of the same general area that we were hunting.
Same path.
Because he'd scouted it for us.
Yeah.
And he'd hunted up there because he's like, dude, there's going to be some megas up here. He's walking the same direction out because he would have parked in the same area to go to the same place to come out to the same
So
place.
he's within 400 yards of where we were.
Probably within 40 yards.
Probably.
Like, we're all fairly experienced outdoorsmen. We're going to walk generally the same paths.
Yeah.
I didn't because I wanted to walk down that ridge line
Right.
to get to the path a little quicker.
Right.
He says as he's walking, he feels like a cloud around him, and his headlamp, like his spotlight, goes from big, wide white light, floodlight, to, and all he can see is like tunnel vision, and he just feels darkness around him. And it freezes him for 30 seconds. He doesn't move for 30 seconds, and then he just says, you know what? Whatever's out here,
I got
God on my side. I'm walking straight to this path, and I'm getting to my truck, and he hasn't been back since.
So, the question is, for the internet, what is the historical context of Little Indian Creek Conservation Area? Is it haunted? Are there demons there? Has there been alien sightings? Are there pedophiles? Because I thought I was going to get diddled.
We're going to cut that out.
No, we're not.
Yeah, so I think, I definitely believe in the spirit world and the spirit realm,
Yeah.
and that there is darkness.
Demons are real.
That is present on this earth, and something was dark on Little Indian Creek Conservation Area, and if you hit us up, like in a private message or whatever, we'll tell you the area.
I'll put Luke's phone number on the internet
Yeah.
so you can call him.
You can
about
text
it.
me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the general area. Like, what happened here? Why is it dark?
Yeah,
And
what's going on?
has anybody else experienced anything similar on the Little Indian Creek Conservation Area? And with that, our wrap up for our Missouri 2025 hunting trip is complete. We doubled up. We had a great time. We learned a whole lot. We didn't get our mega giant that we were going out for, but we got good, mature, great Missouri bucks.
Go watch the video on that one and tell me if I'm an idiot. Should I have shot him? You decide.
The mega from day one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give us some feedback on that. I think he made the right decision. I think with hindsight, he thinks he made the right decision.
Or what could I have done differently to not had him stop right where he did and had an opportunity to get a shot on him?
And we'll talk about that in a different
Yeah.
video too. So that's it. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. We appreciate the support. Make sure to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and let us know about Little Indian Creek.
And go outside and make your own outdoor lore.
Bump some does.
Bump some does.
It's where the bucks want to be.
That's right. Banger podcast.
Dude, it's so good. Oops. I don't know how to, there it is. You already cracked your screen.
It's just a screen protector.